up to school without any supplies because we feel it's just talk anyway. Where are your supplies? How many of you look at your kingdom modules and ministries as schools of vision? When you go to fellowship, do you look at it like I'm going to the school of the purpose of my life? How many of you respect your church going as I'm going to a school for the purpose of my life? And do you have your equipment? Do you have your books with you? Do you study your lesson? You understand what I'm saying? Do you look at it like I'm going to school for the purpose of my life? How many of you look at your understanding of the kingdom as I'm going to a life school that's going to teach me the purposes of my lifetime? And do you have your books with you? Do you carry your books? Do you have your equipment? Do you study? Not just read your Bible and highlight the same thing, but do you look at your spiritual life as it is the school of my life? Not the school for the avoidance of hell, but this is the school for my life. Is it enough to pay for? How many of you, when you go to your ministries or your ministry schools or whatever, you bring the certain amount of tuition? You look at your offerings as this is my tuition for the school of my life. How many of you look at that? How many of you actually look at this is the money that I pay for my life's goals, for my tuition? When you give your money, because you're going to loan, you're going to borrow for your school tuition. You're going to borrow for your school. You understand? But when you go to ministry, do you look at ministry as this is the school of my life, and this money that I'm giving is for my tuition? How many of you see it? It's like we don't have influence enough to change anything. We talk, but no influence to change anything because there is no repercussion. When you don't show up, do you say, I didn't show up, but what was in the assignment that I need to finish? How many of you actually get homework from your ministries? You get homework assignments and you turn them in. How many of you actually feel that my credit is affected by how I see my school of purpose? Credit is affected according to how I see my life, not how I go to work. Because some of our jobs have our respect because it affects our credit and our survival. And in churches, it's like, I'm not going today. I'm not reading today. All I have to say is, Lord, forgive me. Let me say a quick, Lord, forgive me, and I'm fixed. But in the realm of the world, you just can't say a quick forgive me. You will create a plan. Raise your hand if you guys understand what I'm saying. That's influence. Influence is determined when you recognize what you lose for not having something. And I don't know if we feel what we lose in the realm of the spirit. We may lose a friendship. We may lose something, but a quick, Lord, forgive me and fix it. I don't even have to tell you why I didn't show up. And see, in the realm of the spirit, we don't even call and explain. We'll text. We'll text, folks. You won't text the light company when you're late. You don't text your mortgage company, but we'll text one another. Raise your hand. We don't even talk. We'll just text. And then say we talked. I sent you a text. You didn't get it? It's like we don't even talk, Wayne. We'll text. It's like, wait a minute. Wayne, you're a publisher. You're a publisher. You need to talk. You got contracts. You got a call. You got a deadline. They text me. No, you have meetings, not text. But in the realm of the spirit, we text. And if you didn't get the text, I don't want to call. You understand? Do we have influence? It's as though the realm of the spirit is some cheap God thing. And the only thing we have is emotion and shouting and hollering and favorite people. This is my favorite teacher. This anointing don't mean power. It means favorite to some people. It doesn't mean powerful, influential. It doesn't mean professional. It doesn't mean right. It doesn't mean brilliant. It means this is my favorite teacher. He's anointed. It means she's my favorite singer. I prefer her. I could go in when she sings. I go in when he talks. I don't really go in when you go in. I go in. We pick favorites. It's like, what is going on? Do y'all understand what I'm talking about? How many of you have discovered the influence of the kingdom, because influence is determined by weighing the value of what you lose for not having something. And if I feel that I could make a screw up decision with you without feeling that I'm going to lose something, you have no influence with me. So I could just make these decisions. I don't see your importance. How many of you been there before? Yeah, we've been there in our relationships or friendships or whatever. When people treat you like you are not important. And so it makes you say, what do I have to do for you to see the importance of me? And it'll make you act out of character to show somebody your importance. But let me tell you something. You can't make people see what they don't want to see. Because if people don't feel that they're going to lose anything valuable as a result of disrespecting you, you don't have an influence. See, if I feel that I'm going to lose something potent as a result of my behavior with you, you have influence in my life. If I feel I'm losing nothing, you have nothing. I don't care how anointed you are, how smart you are. If people don't feel that they're going to lose anything by their mistreatment of you, then that you have no influence. They don't value you. But I know if I lose these lights, I'm going to lose my ability to use my cell phone and my computer. And I got to have my computer. So you respect HL&P. You respect Ford Motor Credit because you like the status that you have in that car. But if I don't feel that I'm losing anything, then I don't respect you. So you carry no influence. And I see in the realm of the spirit, many of us don't have it. It's not a matter that we're not praying. It's not a matter of you got to pray and fast. No, we don't feel what we're going to lose. Because we have so many secret hookups with God. We could just say, Lord, forgive me. And that's it. I don't have to ask you to forgive me. I could just say, Lord, forgive me and move on. And you just get over it. In the realm of the ministry, we just have to get over things. But you don't get over it in the world. So the world will always be influential. That's why miracles don't come. It's not a matter that we don't have the faith. We don't have the influence, or we don't respect the influence of the kingdom enough to create phenomena. See, phenomenon is created when we respect what the kingdom is. When we respect the value of it, we create phenomena. We create phenomenon. We create it. Raise your hands, guys. You understand what I'm talking about? Yeah. When we don't feel what we're going to lose, you don't create miracles. So do you have influence? Do we have it? Because a lot of us are only dealing with preferential people and favoritism. That's why there's a lot of gang wars in church and we're angry. Because we don't feel like we're the favorites. We don't feel like we're the choice, the chosen ones. And that's why there's jealousy and fighting and wars and biting and killing, because I don't prefer you. You're not my favorite. I'm going to automatically turn my ears off to you because you are not my favorite. So the church is built on favoritism now. It's not built on anointing and influence. And what do we lose because of this? Wayne, what do we lose if we don't listen to your insight? Lucille, Michael, Vanessa, Jason, Bridget, those of you on Tremaine, what do we lose? Wendy, Darren, what do we lose if we don't listen to what you say? And if I don't feel that I'm going to lose anything that can aid me in my life, I won't listen to you. As a matter of fact, I'll see if I can get your services for little or nothing. You pay cheaply with things that you could afford to lose. Things you can't afford to lose, you will pay much for them. You will invest in things that you can lose much of. But if I don't have nothing to lose, it's discount. It's a small price because I'm really not losing anything. You understand? If I feel I'm going to lose much when I sow, it's an investment because I have much to gain because I have so much to lose. Have we as the kingdom become something that has nothing to lose? So it gets $2 here. It gets I see you. I'm scared to commit to see you. I don't know how to be intentional because I'm not going to lose anything if I don't see you. I'm not going to lose anything for lying to you. I could say, I'll see you next week and don't see you and don't say nothing about it. What happened? Oh, there's something came up. But I don't even have to explain myself. And whenever you can live and don't have to explain yourself, we feel undervalued and unnecessary. And whenever the kingdom feels unnecessary, it won't produce its strength. It won't. See, the miraculous is the strength of the kingdom. The phenomena is the strength of God. And whenever God feels like, whenever it's like, well, there's nothing to lose, then God can't show off the phenomena because it's not the most respected thing. See, whatever you respect, you move, you have your assignments. After a while, church isn't just a place where you go shout, but you look at it as the school for my life. Your pastor's not just somebody who preach and rub you down, but he's the mentor to my purpose in life. But to some of us, the managers and the president of the company have more influence because they control where you live. But the pastors only control how you feel emotionally. If I could afford my house, I could deal with not feeling good if I could still pay my light bill and my mortgage. I could deal with being sick if I still got my house. Raise your hand if y'all know what I'm talking about. We missee the prophetic and the apostle and the evangelist, pastor, teacher, and we look at them as people who just preaching things that only they get excited about. But have we looked at the men and women of God and say, they are the mentors to my life? I can't live purposely without their tutelage. Do we respect? No. Do y'all feel me, guys? Influence, not favoritism. Influence now, not favoritism and preferential treatment. But influence. Influence, Michael. Influence, Pastor Sean. Influence now. Do we have it? Or do we have favoritism? What do you see, Lucille, that could cause you to just lie to me? What do you see that'll make you promise me something and don't come through? Because even on your cell phone bills, you'll call your cell phone companies and they'll say, when can you pay? Let me set up an arrangement. And you'll make sure that arrangement is met. Do we have the same power? Do we provide for people's lives the way our cell phone companies provide? Does our ministries and schools provide for life the way our jobs provide? Do we protect, are we protecting our credit score in the kingdom? Do we just claim God gonna give me that? It's like we could just say God gonna give me that. He gonna work a miracle. I'm going to give this offering and God's going to give me a house. I'm going to give this $2,000 offering. See, we got hookups. Let me just give this. He going to give me that. But in the world, you respect the process. They say, give us your social security number, which means we want to know your secrets. Tell us this. We want to know your habits. And you'll gladly reveal your habits to the world because you want the house. But when your mentors say, tell me your secret. What are you feeling? You're in my business. But you never tell the light company that they're in your business. You never tell the mortgage companies or the jobs. The jobs were right and you say, are you willing to travel? If we want to call you whenever we want, will you listen to us? Will you do this? Who can we call if we can't find you? You can call my mama. You let them know everything about you. But when your mentors say, tell us something about you. You don't need to know my business. What it means, we don't have any influence. Do you guys understand me? Raise your hand if you feel me. I'm going to let you go. I'm going to let you go. Do you feel me? Do we have it? Do we have it? Do we have influence? Are we just some cheap Saturday or Sunday morning Bible study collective of people who beg God for things while we go to work? Is this just a cheap collection of unprofessionals who get a piece of paper and all of a sudden we're preachers and this and that?